All right, so today I will be discussing Willie O'Ree. He was the first black professional ice hockey player to break the color barrier in the National Hockey League. He did so in 1958 from Fredericton, New Brunswick, and he was born in 1935. So, Willie O'Ree's grandparents were slaves somewhere in Virginia, and they escaped through the Underground Railroad all the way up through the Northeast and into Fredericton, New Brunswick, Canada. Home life for him was pretty crammed, as you can see in the bottom left corner. He was one of 13 kids, and he was the youngest in the family. His father was a civil engineer for the city. He worked on building infrastructure and roads for Fredericton, and his family was one of two black families in the entire town of Fredericton. All right, so Willie O'Ree's father was an engineer, so he did not want to throw Willie straight into the rink where he thought racism may occur. So he built him a backyard pond for him and his older brothers. He laced up his skates at 3, grabbed a stick at 5, and the rest is history. When he would learn on the pond, he would play with his brothers, but he ended up eventually joining youth hockey. He said that some of his best friends growing up were from this original team. A quote from him said, "You could have been purple with a green stripe on your forehead, and it wouldn't have mattered. It was only years later when I learned what the color barrier truly was." So, throughout his junior career, O'Ree had older brothers that played the sport, so they introduced him to checking and physical hockey at age 15. His skill level made him one of the top players in all of New Brunswick, let alone Canada, so he took his talents and went down to Quebec City, Quebec, Canada, and he recorded 44 points in 43 games at age 19. But on the flip end of it, it was a bigger city, and he saw a lot more racism becoming prevalent before, after, and during games. One of the horrible stories that he said was someone put cotton balls in his skates before games, and he would get derogatory slurs thrown at him all over the place, even going to the grocery store. So, O'Ree had a major setback happen to him in his last year before entering the National Hockey League. He was one of the best players in Quebec, all of Canada. He was going to the NHL. He blocked a shot with no helmet on, just because the times were different back then, and he lost complete vision in his right eye. He broke his orbital bone, broke his nose, a very major injury for him. So he went to the doctors, got advised, and he lost all vision. He said they should never play again, and he was back out on the team in 2 months. He then signed an affiliation with the Boston Bruins in the National Hockey League. So, shooting past the color barrier. On the date of January 18th, 1958, the Boston Bruins played in Montreal, which was very close to his hometown. So he really did not find much racial discrimination in Montreal. He said Canada in general was not a very racial or hard time to come by and leave the rink without getting beers thrown at him or slurs thrown at him. But a lot like Jackie Robinson, O'Ree really tried to shut out all these racist remarks before, during, and after games and prove he was the best player at his position. He had a play style that very few could keep up with and play with. So, accomplishing his milestones. Willie O'Ree played at 14-year career. He played a very long career for the sport of hockey. He played from 58 to 72. In 61, he was the first black player to score a goal, and they have it on a photograph in the Boston Bruins facilities. And then he was dealt around the league. He got traded around the league a lot and became the first black player for a multitude of teams. So, Willie O'Ree's significance to the game of hockey. His impact in the game paved the way for kids around the country and adults to really pick up a stick, go get a puck, shoot around in your driveway. It showed that hockey was for everyone, no matter the skin color. It showed that it was not discriminatory towards race. O'Ree was pivotal in providing an open mind for teams to draft black players, professional and youth level. It really created this open playing field for black ice hockey players to really step up and exceed. So, some additives as to why Willie O'Ree is relevant to our American Studies courses are that he was one of the earliest and most groundbreaking colored athletes to break the color barrier in all of sports. His crucial role in history continues to influence tens of thousands of ethnic players, youth, junior, or pro athletes like I showed on the last slide. It provides a figure to show that no matter what skin color, heritage, or background you're coming from, you can really drive your dreams into reality. It proves that you can get your skill level to the highest of the high and you can really succeed. A major sport like hockey is now heavily investing into youth programs such as Team Brooklyn, based out of New York, where they get to skate with NHLers, or the New Jersey Youth Devils, who provide ice and sticks and gear for free in inner city Newark, New Jersey. Some media that really exemplifies Willie O'Ree's story and his background are some documentaries on NHL Network and other hockey broadcasting networks. Some ceremonies that tribute Willie O'Ree's legacy were such as the Boston Bruins, where they hung his jersey in the rafters to show his excellence and his perseverance to break the color barrier. And also he has written a book, an autobiography, that explains in detail some of the highest highs that he's accomplished, some of the lowest forms of discrimination, and the lowest lows that he's accomplished. It's really a touching story and testament to how he is able to have such a tough mindset to break the color barrier at the time in a predominantly white sport. And lastly, here are my works cited pages. These are some links to some different biographies, videos, and different stories that tell Willie O'Ree's story. Thank you all for watching.